Welcome to this week's episode of FYI, brought to you by Deborah Lynn Courier of Royal LePage Pro Alliance Realty. I'm your host, Doreen Barnes. In the studio with me from the Spencerville Mill and Museum, I'm excited to be talking to Mary Tessier, and she is the executive director there. Mary, welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. It's lovely to be here.
Oh, hey, we're fortunate to have you here. So the Spencerville Mill, it really was a grist mill.
Sure was, yes. Starting in 1860, our building was built, the first stone mill on the property. There were, across the river, a few different types of mills previous to the stone structure being built. There were sawmills and carden filling mills on site, but the final building that was built by the Spencer family is a grist mill that still remains today.
That's wonderful to have something like that, you know, it's really an artifact, even though it's a building.
It sure is.
It's an artifact,
Absolutely,
right?
Yes.
Yeah. So on the grounds along with the mill itself in the museum, there's a park.
There's a park, yes. We have a park with a lovely gazebo that is right on the shore of the river. Natural shoreline, lots of natural plants and animals there. We can see our resident heron if you come and visit us. We have a few lovely gardens that are dedicated to some of our past volunteers. So it's a beautiful place to take a picnic or grab a piece of pizza in town and go and have a picnic.
That's a great idea.
It
Pizza
is. It's peaceful there.
Yeah. Well, hey, it would be, wouldn't it, though?
And the water running over the weir, the dam, it adds to the sound of the peacefulness, yes.
So, I don't know if it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago, but you had something very exciting that happened at the Mill and Museum. You had people coming for the paranormal activities.
Oh yes, that was just this last Saturday night.
Just last Saturday,
yes,
okay.
We had, I think, up to 40 guests
Nice.
Participated in that event. It started with a 2.5 hour sort of learning seminar for the participants to learn about the different equipment that the paranormal researchers use.
Yes.
And then there were 2 4-hour sessions where they actually did investigations.
Wow.
We've done this in the past, and there is spirits living at the mill. There's a gentleman and a child. So those are the investigations that we have learned, but there is suspicion that there could be some other spirits there as well.
I would have liked that. That would have been
So
exciting.
the organization that we invited into our establishment is called the Night Watchmen.
Okay. Okay. Are they local or are they from
They're
the
local.
area?
The leaders are from Cars, Ontario. They're not too far away. Yeah.
Alrighty. Yeah. Now, the 15th annual Heritage Golf Tournament's coming up.
Just a few days away,
yes.
June the 8th. Yes, it's our 15th annual. This event traditionally has been ran by our dear friend and fundraiser and colleague Lyle Henderson, who was a Brockville resident for many years, who passed away last fall, I believe. So we're missing Lyle.
Yes.
So we are really whooping it up this year in his tribute. So he has raised thousands of dollars for local charity, in particular the Spencerville Mill. We're partnering for this event with the Spencerville Masonic Lodge. It's called the Nation Masonic Lodge, and that organization has been in our community for over 100 years, and Lyle was a member of that organization for all his adult life, yes.
Okay.
So the Henderson family have deep roots in the Spencerville area, but Lyle did make his home here in Brockville for many years.
I wondered what the connection was. Thank you for telling, because I was going to ask.
Right.
So that makes sense.
So the
now.
Henderson family, actually, the farm that Lyle's family farmed is still there, being farmed by Lyle's family, his nephew and his family. So that's a 7-generation farm in Edwardsburg County. Yeah.
That's
Edwardsburg Township.
A lot of generations
it is.
going. Whoa. Okay, so this golf tournament is really a fundraiser, is it not?
It is. So people may know that the Masonic Lodge does lots of good work for our community, and they've partnered with us. We're putting our portion of the funds toward our elevator. Over the years, we have access to the main floor of our building for people, ramp access and good handicapped accessible washrooms. But really the highlights of our building are on the upper level, where you can see the best views of the river, and it's our event space where we rent to weddings and hold concerts and have exhibits. The second highlight would be the lower level, which is where our turbine is, so people can see the actual moving turbine. So those that can't navigate stairs really miss out on what I think are the best parts of what you have to see at the Spencerville Mill.
Yes.
So we are fundraising to put an elevator in. Hopefully we'll see that in 2025.
Oh, good. So you're close.
Yes, we're close.
Oh, that's nice to hear.
Yes.
Nice to hear. And who is Graham Roy?
So Graham Roy is a train expert that works with the the Railway Museum of Eastern Ontario, located in Smiths Falls, and he is coming to do a presentation to us, share his knowledge of the railway system.
Okay.
I think in the mid-1850s. And then he's also a Morse code and communication expert, so he's going to be sharing those tidbits with us as well. So we're really excited to welcome him to the mill on June 19th for a free sort of meet and greet and workshop seminar. We'll have some free refreshments and have a good chat with Graham.
It would be interesting to have an individual, like a teenager who uses their phone all the time, to sit down with Graham and do the communication.
Yeah.
I'd like to hear the conversation.
So transportation was a big part of the Spencerville Mill business, getting product to and from other communities, using the train. So that's why there's a close tie there to the background of the mill.
Makes sense.
Yeah,
it really does.
Yep.
There's something else that's coming up too that you people are pulling together, and it happens to be Mayhem at the Mansion.
Yes, we are
What
so
is
excited.
this?
Yes, so the Connell Homestead will be converted into what would feel and look like a Klondike gold rush times. Yes. So the Connell family have been a deep contributor since the Spencerville Mill Foundation began in the 1990s. Earl Connell and his family were one of the first people to step up and help contribute funds to the refurbish of the Spencerville Mill.
Yes.
So all these decades later, their family is still contributing to our organization, which is so lovely.
That is.
So this event will be held at the infamous Connell Homestead just outside of Spencerville. That building was built in 1880. It's a beautiful homestead, beautiful home.
Yes.
Property, lovely property, big mature trees and an old barn there. So they're, for one of the first times, I believe, they're opening the mansion, as we're calling it, or the homestead, up for tours. So tours will be provided as part of the ticket price of this event. So we've employed a playwright from Ottawa who's going to do a sort of a murder mystery. I believe it's called The Good, Bad, and Ridiculous. So there's a bit of a comedy, that sounds nice. Set in the Klondike. So the theme is that local people are returning from the Klondike after their adventure there. So that will be fun. So food and drink and live entertainment, and a little bit of a tidbit that just became available recently is also there is another old home in Spencerville from famous Dr. McIntosh that's affiliated with the McIntosh Apple.
Yes.
His home will be opened for a pre-tour before the event as well. That's right downtown Spencerville.
Oh my heavens. And what's the date of this?
July 27th. The tickets are $100. They're available on the Spencerville Mill website through Eventbrite.
Okay.
There's also contact information there. If there's any questions about the event, we'd be happy to answer them.
Well, I think it's going to be a fun night.
Oh, I think so too. I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, Art Explosion. Coming up in
yes, Art
Sunday.
Explosion. Yeah, we're looking forward to that as well. So that's a new event. It's only in its second year. It's an event that's put on by the Spencerville Business and Community Connections Group, which is sort of a precursor to a BIA or a Chamber of Commerce. So that group holds 4 major events each year, and the summertime event is Art Explosion. So the Spencerville Mill is participating in that. In fact, many of the Art Explosion events will happen in the park or in the parking lot around the Spencerville Mill.
Yes.
The other site is the Spencerville Rink, where the Spencerville Summer Market will take place with, I think, of upwards of 60 artisans having their displays.
Yes.
So we've arranged for a puppet show to come on site. So that should be fun for the little ones. There will be some live music and food in our park, and there'll be some activities for children as well.
The date is?
Sunday, June the 23rd.
Nice.
Yeah.
So now tours of the mill and the museum. Is that in the summertime?
It is. So we
Okay.
have been lucky enough to have grant money from both the province and from the Canada, the Government of Canada,
Yes.
to employ some summer students who will offer tours, and they're on board starting July the 2nd through till we pretty much get to Labor Day or shortly before Labor Day. Check our website for updates on how deep into the summer
Yes.
that we go. But yeah, so guided tours. Turbine demonstrations. Our turbine will be 90 years old this year. It was installed in 1934. So we can turn the turbine on and give you a tour. We're focusing on, our displays focus on like 1930, which is when the Barnard family struggled to get through the Depression. And we're really unique in coming up with different ways to use their products. So they created a farming product called Grow or Bust, and that was really the ticket that got them through the Depression, and they continued to run the mill up until 1970.
1970?
Yes, so our colleagues at the Delta Mill were already a museum by the 1970, but in 1970 the Spencerville Mill was still operating.
My heavens, that's not that
Yeah.
long ago,
I know,
really.
It doesn't seem, it's actually, it's actually my lifetime, believe it or not. But
that's,
yes.
That's nice. Anything else you want to tell our viewers?
Come to Spencerville. It's a lovely little village, lots to offer. We have some unique businesses, the Odd Spot, Joe's Bar and Grill, live music at Joe's regularly. It's a pretty little village by the town. We have, by the river rather, we have a walking tour of some of our historical buildings. We can provide you with a brochure on that, and you can do a self-guided tour just off the 401 and 416, so it's a convenient location if you're heading to Ottawa or down to Cornwall area. It's not far.
It's not far at all.
Yeah, no.
Thank you, Mary, for coming in.
Thank
and
you so
sitting
much for
down.
having me, Doreen.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Don't you go away.